Hello and welcome back to the channel today, everybody. As always, thanks again for spending some of your time with us. And again, just a reminder, if you are enjoying these videos, please hit subscribe. That really does help us out. So today we are in Tenerife, which is another of the Canary Islands. We were in La Palma just the day before. And again, I didn't know a lot about the Canary Islands before we came here. And so I'm learning a lot. La Palma, if you watched that video, was a lot smaller, just kind of a colonial island. Although it's bigger than we thought. We had some friends that took a tour and went to a whole different part of the island than we did. But this island, you could tell when we pulled up to Tenerife, it was quite a bit bigger than than the last one at La Palma that we were at yesterday. And it actually, when we first got on the boat and looked out, it kind of looked like we were in an industrial area. And I heard some people say they didn't even get off the boat. But I am really glad we got off the boat. It was so cool. Uh, this town, even more than La Palma, felt like it was an industrial, or not industrial, that's not the word I want to use. It was a cosmopolitan European city, and it was just really cool. I mentioned again yesterday that the Canary Islands are part of Africa, and we found this really cool African market here, and they had all kinds of spices and fruits and things, um, all kinds of seafood. It is an island, of course, so lots of seafood. Just really fun to check out and spend some time in. And it did have kind of a African feel here in this market. So we spent quite a bit of time there looking around and enjoying ourselves. You know, one thing that our friends learned on their tour, we were walking around and their kids said, "Where are all the canaries? These are the Canary Islands, you know." And we think of canaries as the birds, but I guess what canary means is, canine is like for dog, and canary actually means too many dogs. So when the Spanish first came to the islands, there were too many dogs and apparently too many people, and they wiped out the indigenous male population. And that's not a bright spot in the history of these islands. Obviously, genocide is always frowned upon, at least by me. And I don't mean to make light of it because I know it still happens today. But unfortunately, that's what happened to a lot of the indigenous people of the islands. But the Spanish came in and they settled, and this has been an important trade route for centuries now. And so this city of Tenerife, or this is actually Santa Cruz on the island of Tenerife, has built up to be a really large city at this point. Okay, just have to show you this real quick, just to, I guess, point out what small town hicks from Arizona we are. But these are self-cleaning public restrooms. You push a button, they clean themselves. When they're done being cleaned, you go on in, you use the restroom, and then you put your hands under here. It washes your hands with water, then it puts soap on them. Then after you've soaped up, the water comes on again, and then after you've rinsed all your soap off with the water, then the dryer comes on. You put your hands in under the dryer, and you are good to go. You step out, and the process repeats itself. So we thought that was pretty cool, pretty ingenious, and we need to get some of those for our public restrooms back in the States for sure. But after our pit stop at the bathroom, we went to the city park. And this is something that I love about Europe, is going to these city parks. They are beautiful. This one was great. The weather was great. It was shady. It was so nice to just get out, let the kids play again. We walked around. They had all kinds of different flowers and beautiful blooming trees and fountains. And it's just the kind of place that I want to spend a lot of my time while we're in Europe. I'm going to have to be doing studying and cameo studying and chorus studying, and the kids got homeschool that they're doing, and I plan on doing it in places like this where we can be out in these beautiful public spaces that they have all over Europe. And we spent quite a few hours just enjoying this beautiful park here in Tenerife. And again, one of my favorite parts of Europe. We were here at these parks, and Ezra just mentioned, who pays for these parks? And we had a chance to kind of explain to him a little bit about taxes and where they're used and how people govern. And that's one of the best things about homeschooling, or not homeschooling, but traveling in general, is that you can take these moments to show your kids that people live different ways in different places, and that governments are run differently, or that people have a different way of approaching life. And we love that about travel. So this was a great day to kind of explore some of those uh, different cultural aspects with our children. It's just really fun to see these kids here. Obviously, local kids just got out of school and playing in the fountains and living life a little different than our kids live back home, and seeing that they're happy too, and that there's different ways of doing things that will still lead to making you happy. So after exploring the city a little bit more, we decided to go ahead and head on back to the boat. And as I've been narrating this video here, I realize I keep mentioning Europe. And again, this is not technically Europe. It feels very European and has a very Spanish European feel, but technically this is Africa. So I don't know. Someday I'll get my head around that. But it is cool again to be in Africa. I've only got one continent now that I've got to go to. Got to get down to Antarctica to hit all seven. And I think Cameo just needs Asia and Antarctica, and the kids need South America, Asia, and Antarctica. So just a aside for our family there. But it was just a wonderful day. We got on the boat, watched the island float away in the distance, made our way to dinner, and had a great meal together, talking about what a wonderful time we had on the island. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. Again, if you did, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And if you hit like or comment, we'd love to hear if you've ever been to the Canary Islands, or what you think about travel, or if you have any questions for us, put them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day as you live your journey.